What are the overarching themes, energies, circumstances coming up for Aquarius in October 2025, please? For Aquarius in October 2025. Okay, you have loss in reverse. So this is interesting. So you may have been concerned that maybe due to something outside of your control would require you to take a loss, release something, let go. But that's not the case. So there may be an easier solution to a problem that you were facing than you realized in the present moment, okay? So if you were concerned about how you were going to navigate a situation, you don't need to worry about it, okay? There is a solution here that isn't requiring you to let go of something, release something, or remove yourself from something, okay? So it does look like it almost feels like a win-win situation, right? Yeah, so there is actually a far better solution than you even realize. Yeah, look, friends and colleagues, right? It's in the upright, I'm telling you. So there may even be people that can help you, but trust me, you're not the only one in this boat, okay? I think there may have been multiple people that had the same concerns and fears that you do, okay? So say, for example, if a bunch of you were concerned that there was going to be some layoffs, okay, that you were going to be made redundant, you may find that's not the case at all, okay? That none of you guys are losing your job, okay? That's just an example. It doesn't have to be that. It's just an obvious one with this energy here, right? So it's kind of giving that energy, right? Where you felt like, oh no, like, we're going to have to look for another job. What am I going to do? How am I? No, it's not going to end up that way, okay? So whatever you was fearing losing or was going to fundamentally change for you, it isn't changing the way that you think, okay? Like, you're not going anywhere, Aquarius, okay? Wherever you find yourself currently, that's where you're meant to be for the time being, okay? At least for the time being. So you don't have to fear a loss or being removed from something, okay? So tell me more about this energy for Aquarius in October 2025. So you definitely wanted some kind of reassurance. This is it, okay? This is your reassurance that you're not losing anything. So tell me more about this energy for Aquarius. Yeah, 2 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, you didn't want to have to make this change, right? You didn't want to have to make this change. Maybe you're quite happy where you are. Or maybe you feel like what's on the horizon or other opportunities, right? Whatever capacity this takes, isn't going to give you the same level of fulfillment or the same level of, I don't know, reward as you currently get, okay? Like the benefits are not going to be the same. Let's put it that way, okay? So it's like, you know, you feel like you've already got something good. It's like, why would I want to let go of a good thing here? That's the energy, right? I've got something good going on. I've got something good here. Why would I want to give that up? Because what's out there pales in comparison to what I already have, right? So that's where the concern came in, because it's like, I don't want to lose what's working for me. But trust me, you don't have to worry about losing anything. If anything, you stand to gain something more, something additional, okay, with that 3 of Wands following that 2 of Wands in reverse, okay? Again, but it's almost like you're bracing yourself for some kind of loss here, but it's not a loss. For some of you, it could be an addition. It could be an addition that leads to a celebration. So say, for example, yeah, look at this. Right, hidden motivations at the bottom of the deck. So say, for example, if this was a work situation and you were fearing like, oh my gosh, I've got a good job, I don't want to lose my job, they're going to make me redundant, and then you find out actually you're getting a promotion. You know, that's what I mean when it's like something else that, you know, actually works out better for you, you know. So it's not what you think it is. If it's, say, a relationship, especially with that true love underneath, right, you may be afraid of losing your person only to find out that actually, you know, you may end up settling down with this person, or, you know, getting married, you know, having children, something like that, you know. So it's quite funny how it's like the complete opposite of what you were fearing was going to happen. Yeah. Tell me more. Yeah, the King of Wands in reverse. So something made you feel less confident in this situation, okay? It could have been something you heard through the grapevine. Maybe you saw, like, say, for example, if this was a work situation, maybe you saw someone getting fired and, you know, they may have said like, oh, well, they're firing everybody, right? Out of malice. And then you think, oh no, they're going to fire me. They're going to fire, everybody, but that's not the case at all, right? Even if someone did take a loss, that doesn't mean it's going to happen to you, right? But there was something that definitely kind of triggered you, that made you feel like you wasn't secure in a situation, that something was potentially going to change, but for the worse, okay? So you didn't feel as confident, you didn't feel as secure in the situation, in the environment. You know, it may have even triggered like undesirable emotion, right? It may have made you very attached, right? Or exhibit some like, you know, like, I don't know, maybe even codependent energy, right? Because of the fear of losing something. It's like, no, you can't take this from me. You know, it's that kind of energy. But I think that's very short-lived, okay? Because you're going to realize, oh, I'm not actually losing anything, you know? But I would say it's good that this is coming up, because if you know that it is triggering some kind of codependent reaction from you, okay, then that's something to look at, okay? Because you don't want to be too attached to anything, right? Even something that you are really passionate about, or something or someone you really love, you don't want to be in this energy of being too attached, right? Because again, that's where codependency comes in. All right, so just something to be mindful of if that is coming up. Yeah, but I'm telling you, you're not losing anything, Aquarius, okay? Yeah, exactly. 5 of Wands. You're not having to defend yourself. You're not having to vouch for yourself. You're not having to, you know, give 50 reasons why you should stay, right? Why you should be kept, right? Why this person shouldn't leave. No, nothing like that. Okay, there is no adversity. There is no challenge. There is nothing that you have to justify here. Okay, and again, even if someone is taking some kind of loss around you, again, like the example, if say someone is being fired, that doesn't mean people are being laid off left, right, and center. Even if that was something they were saying, right? It could be just a reaction out of spite because they're taking some kind of loss, okay? But no, you don't have to fear losing anything this month, okay? Your energy, your position is actually very secure. Whether that's in a work situation, a relationship, within some kind of group dynamic here, network, right? Whatever the case may be. Like, you're not going anywhere. Yeah, exactly. Look, the Chariot in reverse. You know, you're not going anywhere. But if you allow that seed of doubt to really flourish in your mind, right? To germinate in your mind, then it can lead you to acting out, okay? And making some questionable choices here, okay? Because again, it's like panicked state, right? If you feel like something involving your sense of stability or security, or something that you're very attached to is being threatened, then it could have you acting out of character, right? Maybe acting out of your shadow or your ego. So you just want to be aware of that, okay? Because you don't want to create a negative circumstance for yourself when everything is good, okay? So just something to be aware of. Something is fundamentally changing in your life and around you, but it's not what you think, okay? It's really not what you think. You are not losing anything. If there's anything you take from this, know this. You, Aquarius, are not losing anything, okay? I need you to hear that. I need you to know that. So if this situation arises in October, or it's something you're already navigating, you are not losing anything. For those who are picking up on, okay? You're really not. But there is something that's fundamentally changing in your environment or around you, because it needs to. Okay? And say, for example, like the work situation. Say if it was your boss or someone like that has been fired. Okay? You may send ripples through the department, right? And people may be unsure of why and if that means they're safe, right? But it's got nothing to do with you. It changes things because someone else is going to take their position. They will, you know, approach things differently. It will change things, but that doesn't mean that means disaster for you. See, the loving man. Don't assume the worst, okay? Yeah. It's very good. Let's just put it that way. It's very good. So I hope that helps.